they stay for the night. The next day they immediately set out and traveled until Tion could hear the sounds of waves. Nick warns her that the sinkhole is just in front of them. They got out of the forest and Tion finally saw the sinkhole. Ragna comments on how the hole makes the people who visit it feel insignificant. Just then, the ring shows a hologram of an arrow pointing in a certain direction. Tion then asks the others if they know what is under the sinkhole. Nick wonders if Tion wants to go down. Tion can see though that it will be hard to go down or up in this sinkhole. Kata warns Tion that the underwater currents are vicious. Tion is surprised that he knows. Ragna explains that all their warriors have gone down as a test of the spirit of the earth. Kata then starts explaining their spiritual beliefs. They had to retrieve the stone marked and thrown by the patriarch under the water to pass the test. Tion wonders how deep the water was, but the meatheads don't care about it as long as they get the stone. Ragna suggests asking Viru or the twins about it instead. The group then travels back to the camp but uses a different route with the help of the ring's map. They actually got back to the camp earlier than expected. Tion didn't mind other matters for now and asked others to meet up with him instead. Bahama claims that the environment under the sinkhole was a bit special. It was clean and free of plants and there is also a deeper hole inside. It was a black hole that Viru accidentally discovered. Tion really needs to check the bottom of the sinkhole by himself. Tion then asks Aruba about his findings, but the other explains that Aruba only lasted 3 minutes and was the first to the surface. Since then, Tion has been busy making oxygen cylinders in preparation for diving into the sinkhole. It was difficult to make the cylinder. They just need to pour molten iron into a mold. However, the other intricate parts like the bottle mouth check valves and pumps are harder. The production is kind of cumbersome. After some time, they have successfully finished what they need to finish. Tion had Aruba pump the air inside the oxygen tanks and feels confident about it. The girls worry about the pressure making the cylinder hotter. That is why Tion placed it in ice water to cool down the cylinder and the air inside. Ragna's help was not enough, so Kata and Prasang also joined in to pump. Tion tells them to rest and another group will take over. After everything was prepared, Tion and the rest set out for the sinkhole. They arrive at the sinkhole and they start preparing for the diving operation. 3 days later, all preparations are done. Tion, Kata and Ragna dive into the water. Tion thought it would be too deep, but they already reached the bottom as soon as they dove. The ring continues emitting light and they all follow the direction it is pointing at. While looking at the unusual environment, Kata taps Tion to stop. Tion finds himself in front of the second hole that Viru has described before. Kata wonders if Tion will go down. Tion doesn't have a choice but to go down and check. He can feel the water pressure increasing as they go down into the dark waters. Just then, they discover a familiar building. Kata and Ragna find the place magical, but this is the building from the map. They approach the door and Tion notices how tightly shut it is. Surprisingly, the ring emits a light toward the door, triggering something inside the building. The door opens and Ragna wonders if they will go inside. Tion denies it because they might lose oxygen inside the building if it is submerged. They decide to go to the surface of the water first to plan things out. However, a man who is monitoring them from inside the building gets mad after he opens the door for them. He presses a button and the three get sucked in by a water vortex. They are forced to get into the building and reach a water surface to breathe. Kata wonders if they are on the surface now, but Tion claims that the sky and clouds are fake. Tion plans to follow the direction the ring is pointing. It has been half an hour and they are still swimming. Just as they are feeling hungry, a shark appears to have them for lunch. Everyone panics and the man inside the building can't believe the experimented sharks are still alive. It was unlucky for them to meet the ancient Megalodon shark. Tion pulls his oxygen cylinder and releases the air toward the shark, making the water distract it for a while. Just as they try to escape, another shark joins the table. Tion tells the others to open the cylinder's valve to maximum and hold it. They continue to propel on top of the water until they notice a glass wall. Tion tells them to dive and look for an exit. They see some small cracks underwater and smash them more using the cylinders. The three are able to get through the crack. The sharks chase them, but one got stuck in the sharp glass and bled to death. Tion notices the room they are in with various instruments that he has never seen before. He recalls the different ancient animals on the island and thinks of something. Ragna taps him and points out that the stuck shark is now a bone. The other sharks are trying to get in. Tion signals them to move. They reach out for a steel door and try to open it with all of their strength. The sharks are now hot on their tails again. Tion notices a scanning device near the door and uses the ring on it. The door opened, but they still needed to pull it open due to the rust on the hinges. Seeing the sharks coming their way, they all quickly got through the gap and almost became sharks' lunches. One of the sharks got stuck on the door and Tion worries that the other one will push the stuck shark to get in. However, the other shark seems to be teaming up with it to kill it. Tion gets flustered by the other shark and calls it an idiot. The stuck shark dies on the spot. However, the one outside is still lively. Tion opens the door a bit to let out the dead shark. The other shark charged forward, but it got stuck on the door too. The shark was really dumb after all. The man observing them feels disappointed that the megalodons had low IQs despite being a successful experiment. The three then swim to look for a way out. However, they are already dead tired from the shark chase. As their bodies are getting cold, the three then make rafts from the pieces of wood they found. They spent a long time rowing and floating around the inside of the building, which looks like a maze. Just then, the ring lights up and their raft gets lifted mid-air. Ragna wonders if this is one of Tion's tricks. Tion denies it as they fly through the hallways. They hold on for dear life as they are heading toward a closed door. The door opens and Tion can see someone. The three crash inside a blue room and Tion notices the ring breaking. A scientist confirms that the ring has already used up its energy. Kata and Ragna got alerted because they didn't notice the scientist's presence. The scientist tells them to calm down because there is not much time. He creates some chairs and tells them to sit. He forgot that they are foreigners, so he launches a language translation system. Everyone gets dumbfounded and the scientist angrily tells them to bring out the cameras or recorders for the interview. Tion informs him that they have nothing because they got swept into the island due to a storm and lost contact with the outside world. The scientist can't believe what he just heard and goes blank. Tion wonders if the scientist is okay and asks if they can get out. The scientist gets mad and forces them to watch something instead. The television shows scientists panicking in the laboratory. The same scientist starts recording something. He is called Zhang Feng from Baodao No. 2 Wufang Laboratory in the New Era year of 336. Tion can't believe the dignified person on the TV is the same as the one in front of them. Zhang Feng on TV is trying to explain the situation to anyone watching it, whether they are from the future or the past. He explains that Earth has reached its maximum usage of resources and energy. It has been a new era and humanity can travel freely through space and gather resources. However, it is still lacking. Because of that, they have opened the laboratories. They created a man-made island with the design of Taiwan. The main research of the laboratory is the eternal preposition of time for the scientific community. They managed to conduct research in three-dimensional space to solve the shortage of energy. However, accidents are bound to happen. Just when Zhang Feng starts talking pompously again, a foot pushes him aside. Another scientist tells him to run away too. Zhang Feng claims that there is nowhere to run because the whole island is already affected by the turbulence. Just then, Zhang Feng in the present shouts as he got the password wrong for something. Continuing on the recording, Zhang Feng and his friend calmly took a tea break while the others were panicking. His friend is apparently the head researcher, Shuelin. Shuelin cutely introduces himself with a heart. Tion can't believe these people are the heads of the lab. Shuelin explains that the whole island will jump for 200 years in an instant. The whole island will disappear from its current timeline and disappear in the gap between time and space. However, because the time gap is extremely unstable, the island will appear irregularly in different places at different times and in different spaces, taking the missing ships and the Bermuda Triangle as an example. Shuelin expects the destined people will come to see this recording. Zheng Feng then asks if there is a way to escape their current crisis. Xuelin then shows them an escape capsule that can help them get out of the lab and can travel 500 kilometers per hour. Still, that is not enough to escape the turbulence. In other words, they can only wait for their deaths. Just then, Zheng Feng claims that their bodies might not survive the crisis, but their consciousness can. Zheng Feng and Xuelin are discussing the preservation of their consciousness as stored data when they suddenly realize that it is possible. They both begin working on uploading their consciousness. Meanwhile, Zheng Feng finally manages to guess the correct password. He asks Xuelin how it feels to be reborn. Kata and Ragna believe that Xuelin is a god. Tion is amazed by the advanced technology he is witnessing. Xuelin then starts attacking Zheng Feng. Later, they all sat down to talk about how they got to the island. Tion asks for a way to get back to their original timeline, but the scientists tell him to stop dreaming. There is nothing they can do. However, there is a chance for them to go back. Xuelin brings out a ring and gives it to Tion. It contains all the data from the Wufan laboratory. They claim it should be familiar to Tion because it is part of Homeland Plan. Biosphere number 3. Tion recalls reading about Biosphere 2 during his high school days. Biosphere 2 was a miniature artificial ecology cycle system built in the desert of Arizona. It is basically a simulation for Earth's ecosystem to prepare for migrating to other planets. However, it was a failure after the ecological factors drastically changed. It became a warning to the world to protect the environment. The Homeland Project is the continuation of Biosphere 2. Baodao 2, the island they are currently on, serves the Biosphere 3. They are producing the raw materials on the island and providing them to Biosphere 3. Biosphere 3 should still be fine and not totally damaged like Baodao 2. Tion can use the data from Baodao 2 to look for a solution to go back home. The ring can help guide Tion to Biosphere 3's location. Tion asks the scientists to go with them. However, it is impossible because their current bodies are integrated into the laboratory. Tion wonders if they are not afraid that Tion might misuse the data they just provided. They just realized it. Still, they entrust Tion with it as long as he promotes the progress of civilization. At that moment, a realization dawns on them that the lab's energy is nearly depleted and will collapse in an hour. Tion becomes filled with panic, yet the scientists reassure him that the escape capsules can swiftly transport them to safety within a minute. However, Tion harbors suspicions that these two individuals might seize control of their bodies upon laying down on the capsules. Zheng Feng then points a gun at Tion's head. Xuelin punches Zheng Feng and tells him not to joke around. He claims that if they harbored ill intentions, they should have done it from the beginning. He asks Tion to bring the data to Biosphere 3. They ask if Tion needs something in return. Tion then asks for high-tech guns or ships that can help the three of them. Xuelin can detect multiple life signs on the island. He tells Tion not to overthink and claims that everything they have operates with reserved energy. The ring they just gave out can operate for up to 100 years. He then confesses that Baodao 2 is also operating on energy. After the lab collapses, the island will also start to collapse within the next 2 years. The early stage will be the disappearance of the mist. The middle stage is the awakening of the volcano. The last stage is the volcano's eruption, and its magma will cover Baodao 2 until it sinks. Tion realizes that they have a year left to leave the island. Tion then bids farewell to the scientists. The three get into their escape capsules. Zheng Feng hopes they didn't choose the wrong person. The two then start making their meal. They feel sad that they can't see the end of what they have started. The noodles are cooked, and the two enjoy the taste they knew a long time ago. The laboratory starts announcing the evacuation. They also regret not seeing their grandchildren. Zheng Feng suddenly gets serious and claims he needs to take a dump. 3 escape capsules come out of the building. However, the capsules are starting to decay. The capsules got destroyed, and the 3 finally reach the surface. He tells everyone to go back up immediately. An explosion occurs in the laboratory, and it starts collapsing. The explosion starts making the water in the sinkhole turn into a vortex. Jessica wonders what happened below because the three were underwater for 20 minutes. Tion realizes that time flows differently in the laboratory. Tion tells them to move back home because they don't have much time. Tion gained a lot of information on this excursion and tried his best to explain everything to everyone. The lot of people didn't really understand everything, but they knew for sure that they needed to build a big ship. The next day, Tion sets out with a team to cut down cedar trees for shipbuilding. It only took half a month to gather the necessary wood for the ship. It would take time for the trees to sun-dry, and everyone resorted to forcefully drying them. Alex wonders if they are cooking the dried wood. Tion explains that cooking them in brine will make the wood buoyant. Tion later finds some rose flowers that can be processed into medicines. The children also helped him pick the flowers. Tion goes to the land they are tilling and tells the others to take a break. Alex wonders what Tion is doing and Ellen claims he is making an acid-base indicator. Tion quickly makes it and tests the soil nearby. They find out that the land they are reclaiming is alkaline. He explains that soil testing shows how the land can either help the plants grow or die. Ragna worries that their hard work will turn into nothing. Tion tells him not to worry and that they can just sprinkle the right amount of sulfur. Sulfur can help turn alkaline soil into something suitable for wheat growth. Everyone worked on what Tion instructed. And Aruba couldn't help but get excited, however Tion tells him to wait 3 days before they can plant the wheat. Everyone realizes that Aruba is excited to eat dumplings again. The modern trio discusses their yield and concludes that the harvest will be enough for everyone for a year. Everyone then dries the wheat seeds first and starts building the dock for their ship. After soaking the seeds in water for a day, Tion and the others planted them on the field they had cultivated. They managed to finish planting in a field the size of 10 football fields. Tion knows that everyone is tired, but he hopes that everyone can persevere. He gives them tasks to be done. Alex will work on the lathe that will help shape the wood. Jessica will lead the wood transport through the sea because the land path requires more manpower. The twins, Pakuma and Pohama, will be their escorts. Ellen will take charge of the camp's agriculture while Nick will lead the camp's security. Tion will announce the members later and ask them to rest. After that, everyone starts getting busy, like working on irons and transporting bricks and wood. Even the children are helping. Just then the elders came to check on them. The elders came after feeding the livestock. Ellen tells them to rest because she assumes that they are weak due to old age. However, the elders feel bad that they are taking on the easy tasks and ask if they can help more. Ellen then claims that they can swap with the children in the water wheel from time to time. The elders get happy and remove their cloaks. They start pedaling on the water wheel with vigor and pure muscle strength. Despite being over 100 years old, they can sure pedal. They all work from dawn until the sky turns dark. They sail on the sea under the blazing sun. Time passed so fast and they did a lot of things. A warehouse near the docks, the upgraded lathe and the completed transport of wood to the plain beach. When they return to their senses, everyone realizes that it is now summer. They all try whatever they can to survive the heat. Tion then shows the upgraded map from the new ring he got. He can now see the names of the vegetation and search for them. Jessica then recognizes Rami, a natural fabric source coming from the Old East. Tion leads a group to the location and they find the Rami plants. Tion gets excited and asks everyone to gather as much as possible. Days later, Aruba flaunts a new dress made of Rami hemp. They manage to find a source for making clothing instead of using anime skins or fur. They then process it by drying it and later spinning it in a machine. They also successfully created a spinning wheel. Tion is amazed at how Ellen is proficient with it as soon as she touches it. The Lotta children are impressed with how the machine works. The output is more surprising for them though, and they find the cloth more comfortable. Ellen feels sad that they don't have dye to put colors on the clothes. Tion informs them that he has already prepared some. He had Milan leaves soak in the water to get a green color. Ellen discovers that Tion made more dyes from madder, comfort and gardenia. The girls get excited as they can now add more colors to the woven clothes. Shipbuilding was paused for a while because it was more important to prevent heatstroke. Making more clothes is the current priority. Ellen was the most excited about making the clothes. A week later, Tion finally got a new shirt. Ellen calls for his attention and Tion comes out of his cave. He sees a dazzling Ellen with her new set of clothes. Tion can't help but call her beautiful. Of course, Ellen is overly flustered by her husband's sudden compliment. As Ellen tries to change the topic and check on Tion's shirt, Jessica appears with a changsam. The university students approve of seeing a Westerner wearing a Mandarin dress. However, Tion has different thoughts. Ellen drives him out while Jessica asks Tion if he wants her to wear stockings too. The Lada people are also looking civilized now with clothes on. Nick and Alu are also cute in their new clothes. The two modern girls come out and they all mingle with other female Lada members. Now that they have food, clothing, and transportation, the only thing left is to leave. With clothes to protect them from the sun's rays, they all continue to work in shipbuilding. Ellen leads a team to collect food for the voyage. Everyone worked on their assigned tasks with no issues and half a year has passed. Wild animals are starting to run away from the center of the island in panic. The wolves run to the campsite and the guards call Tion. They all got woken up by the black wolves howling and Tion told them to pack up. They all move together with the wolves. As he runs, Tion recalls the scene from minutes ago. Shanbai claims that the ground is hot and shaking. Tion realizes that this is the time. He orders everyone to move to the beach because the volcano is about to erupt. They all move to their ships and leave the coast on time. The volcano erupts and Tion tells the others to cover their mouths and noses with wet woolen towels. The eruption sends strong winds and clouds of dust in their direction. The animals are shaking in fear. The Lada people claim that the spirit of the earth is angry. The rumbling ends and Tion checks on the others. Hokoma and Frasong also report that their sides are okay. Tion can see that the island is now covered in volcanic ash. The girls claim that the eruption is not strong enough to cover the island with magma yet. However, they had half a year left in the first place. The morning comes and they discover that the eruptions are done. Tion feels the heat enough to burn trees, but there is no fire in the forest. He tells the others to return to the camp. The camp was still in one piece, but the Lada people stayed in the kitchen building because they were scared of the eruption. Tion and Kata go out to investigate and find out that the lava only covered the volcano's surrounding plains. What Shinfeng said was true, and the second eruption will be the final in half a year. Things finally got relaxed and they all continued building the ship. The eruption destroyed the wolves' hunting grounds and forced them to move near the camp instead. Half a year later, snow starts falling again and it has been 2 years since Tion came to the island. Everyone is obviously excited because it is a new year. It will also be comfortable for them because the ship is done and they can leave at any time. As everyone prepares things for their departure, Tion notices something. He sees the black wolf as fashionable all of a sudden. The black wolf growls as the culprits praise his gentlemanly look. Tion feels bad because he can't save him. They then depart for the beach. After reaching the beach, they set up things for dinner. As usual, they light up fireworks and celebrate the new year. They eat and drink until they fall. However, in Tion's case, he became a pillow for the girls. He gets up and checks the ship. The girls also got up and Jessica wonders what the ship's name will be. Tion starts his lame name generator again and Ellen calls them ordinary. As Tion thinks of a better name, the sun rises from the horizon. Seeing that the dawn is coming for them, he thinks of naming the ship Breaking Dawn. Tion followed the custom of not working for a few days after New Year's Eve. Instead of working, they strolled around Bao Dao too. They are just enjoying the rest of their time on the island. Tion also informs the Black Wolf that the island is collapsing. The Blacks didn't hesitate to join Tion on their journey. After a few days of leisure, they find ways to cause trouble, like looking for treasure in the river. They start loading their food on the ship, and Jessica reports that they have less wheat than expected. That night, Jessica could see from the skies and stars that it would be a bright and windy day tomorrow. She checks on a busy Tion, who is looking for more information about the island. He found some experiment logs by the dynamic duo of Zhang Feng and Shui Lin. They find out that gender attractions are related to the time and space cracks effects. Some creatures will also change habits or appearance, reach some breakthroughs, and gain faster recovery speeds. Well, that explains what they have encountered before. Ellen comes to report that she informed everyone of their departure. The lot of people are feeling sentimental about leaving the island, where they experienced a lot of things. Even the hard-boiled man Kata is crying. The next day, Tion announces their departure, and they set sail. Everyone feels sad about leaving, but they need to survive nonetheless. Tion then cheers them up and tells them to get ready to meet new friends. At sea, they prepare a whole pig and open its stomach. They plan to use it as bait with explosives for sea monsters. They let go of the bait, and Tion reminds the twins to be alert. The twins continue to watch as something swims under the bait. As expected, Jessica can also navigate a ship after learning how to steer at the age of 9. Just then, Pakuma reports something. Tion comes out and sees the same storm that they encountered prior to living on the island. It is the thundercloud that the scientists have mentioned. Tion orders the others to go to their posts. Jessica continues to steer the ship. The warriors hold on to the sails. Ellen stays with the others in the cabin. Alex and some others continue burning the steam. Just then, Pakuma reports that Leviathan has come. The sea monster has come for the bait. Ragna can't believe it waited for them to get tired. Tion pulls up a fire arrow and shoots the fuse connected to the pig. They also prepare their ballista. The sea monster turns out to be a mosasaur from the late Cretaceous era. Everyone starts firing the ballista bolts and hurting the mosasaur. Everyone tries to reload bolts, but the monster dives back into the water. The others wonder what to do. Tion asks Jessica to start the paddle wheel. Jessica then asks Alex to start, and Alex starts increasing the fire below. The mosasaur comes out of the water to attack again. However, the paddle starts revving up and the ship goes off with more speed. The mosasaur goes back into the water and chases them again. Just then, something explodes under the water. The others wonder what just happened. Pieces of the mosasaur float on the water's surface and Tion gets relieved. Jessica asks for a report and Tion tells her to come out to take a look at the mosasaur. Just as Jessica plans to leave her post, she notices a huge wave coming in their direction. Everyone on board starts running toward the cabins. They increase the paddle wheel's power and also have other manual paddles. Tion can't believe what he is seeing. He feels like Sun Wukong facing the Buddha's palm. They find the right timing and they rev up the ship's speed. They ride the huge wave and everyone is doing their best. The ship reaches the top of the wave and they safely get out of the predicament. Ellen thinks they have left Bao Dao 2's magnetic field. They successfully got out of the stormy part of the sea. The weather becomes calmer and everyone takes their time to rest after the tiring experience. Tion brings dinner for the animals and discovers they are seasick. Everyone then starts getting excited and runs past Tion. Tion then goes to the dining hall. He eats with the others and enjoys the food with no worries compared to the past. After dinner, Tion can't sleep and checks on the points he got from killing the mosasaur instead. The girls also can't sleep without being in the same room as Tion. Pohama is on night watch. Of course she is awake. The animals who feel liberated enjoy the sea breeze on the deck. Dawn comes and Pohama calls everyone out. Everyone enjoys the sight of the sun rising from the horizon. They then lift their anchor and continue traveling peacefully. The men's leisure time is fishing. They enjoy the peaceful times after the storm. Well, that is, until they encounter something. Tion, Ellen and Jessica are studying the map of Biosphere 3. According to the ring, the Biosphere 3 is not just an island, but a continent with various climates and topographies. The map shows more information about the main topographic details. Nick comes to report on the thick fog they are encountering. No one can see anything now. They are surprised because the weather looked fine a few minutes ago. Tion wonders how this fog will affect their travel. Jessica explains that most sea collisions are caused by fog. She claims it is better to turn on the fog light. They ask Pohama to turn it on. And Jessica explains that the light is necessary to indicate that a ship is on its way. Tion then tells the others to stay in the cabin. He then follows everyone and finds Jessica telling ghost stories. She tells them the famous ghost ship story where the pirates are seeking revenge. They appear with an ominous-sounding bell. Nick feels ashamed of her scared father. She then asks Jessica about the fog light. Jessica wonders why she is asking about it. Nick points outside and claims that there is a yellow light. Tion is creeped out by the coincidence. He tells the warriors to pick up weapons. Jessica asks Pohama to send a signal using the beacon light. However, there is no response at all. Jessica tells her to ring the bell instead. Aruba is already freaking out on the deck. With no response to the bell, they conclude that it is not a ship. Tion asks them to avoid it. He wonders if it is really a ship and hopes that it is not something dangerous. Just then, Pohama shouts that there is a ship full of bows. A huge ship appears before their eyes. Everyone panics when they see such a huge ship. Tion prepares the ballista and the ship brings out a cannon from its side. In a panic, Tion orders the others to fire the ballista. However, the bolts just pass through the ship. The huge ship fires off all of its cannons and Tion tells everyone to get down, even knowing that they will not survive. However, nothing happens or explodes. Pohama then reports that she witnessed how the shells just passed through their hull. Tion realizes that it just meant something. He goes to confront an incoming shell but it just goes through his body, he is now sure. Aruba asks if Tion is alright. He claims it is just an illusion. Jessica is glad that it was just a mirage. Ellen finds it a spectacle. Nick wonders what a mirage is and Ellen explains it in terms that Nick can't understand. Tion steps in and compares it to a shadow. Just then, Jessica flinches as another one comes. Tion is amazed that mirages can move. Jessica is embarrassed for acting surprised. They later get out of the thick fog and they are glad that the ghost ship is nowhere to be seen now. They continue traveling toward Biosphere 3 as they remember the fantastical moment they just experienced. They still encounter storms along the way but Jessica is now experienced enough to navigate through one. It has been 2 months and people are getting used to the sea, except for the seafood. Tion can see that the Lada people are getting bored. He then decides to have rotational training for more Lada warriors. Freesong worries because he claims that not everyone is born a warrior. There are only Kata and a few others. If they encounter new enemies, they will have a low chance of winning. Freesong nonchalantly asks Tion to train others enough to protect themselves, but Tion needs his help on this matter. He suggests making the warriors to be hunt and bringing back a beast more powerful than a wolf. This kind of test assesses the Lada warriors' combat power, wisdom, and hunting experience. He wonders how Aruba passed it. Tion and Freesong chatted for a long time and decided to have the warriors defeat the wolves in groups. Tion later communicates with the Black Wolf and Shan Bai, and the great war between humans and wolves commences. Small groups of Lada tribesmen face groups of wolves for each test. The assessment took a month to complete. In the end, 13 tribesmen passed as warriors. Those who didn't pass the warrior assessment are now being taught archery by the twins. Ellen also got interested in it and Tion decided to teach her. Their training session starts with Tion carefully leading Ellen. She wonders why she is training differently than the others, but Tion wants her to learn the basics first. Meanwhile, Nick, Ragna, and Kata lead the others in harsher training. Tion also trains in close combat after feeling that he was lacking during the fight with the pirates. A month quickly passes by, and Jessica notices something. She announces to everyone that they are arriving at Biosphere 3. They just need to pass by one more thunderstorm along the way. Everyone then gets into their positions. Jessica puts the paddle wheel into full throttle and they travel through the thunderstorm. After half an hour, they finally see clear skies. Everyone can now see the nearby land. Everyone celebrates as they reach their destination. Tion says it is going to take half a year to reach Biosphere 3. They stop in the nearby waters and they bring down a small boat for reconnaissance. Being desert people, the lot of people are fascinated by the mangrove trees. Jessica wonders what their exact location is, but Tion's ring doesn't have a positioning function for Biosphere 3. However, based on the environment, Tion concludes that they are in the rainforest area, also known as the D3 area. He claims it is dangerous to recklessly enter the rainforest because of the poisonous animals that frequently appear in such an environment. Tion decides to look for a nearby area to dock the ship. He checks the map and sees hills that look like good anchor points. Tion announces the plan to everyone and they just sail on the side of the island. According to the map, they can just follow the coastline to go to the A1 area. Everyone is bored again as they travel for 7 days. Tion finds it weird that they are still in the rainforest area, which is different from the map. Just then, Bakuma calls their attention. He worriedly tells them to go out and check something. Everyone is getting confused. Tion notices that they are in the same place where they arrived at the beginning. The three then conduct a meeting, and Ellen wonders if they went around Biosphere 3. However, they can only see one kind of environment, and it is impossible to circumnavigate a continent in 7 days. Tion then speculates that they encounter a mirage and just travel in circles in the same area. The second speculation is that the ring's information is wrong. The third speculation is that Biosphere 3 collapsed and only left the rainforest area. Tion claims the ring has been pointing to the rainforest since they were circling the area. Just then, the people on the deck noticed a strange monkey. However, it is a sloth actively swimming toward the shore. Jessica claims that it is their mating season. Once the male hears a female's cry, the laziness turns into horniness. Everyone was talking about whether they could eat it or not. Jessica then changes the topic to observing the mangroves during low tide. That afternoon, everyone embarks and looks around the mangrove area. The others get excited to land, but they suddenly slip on the muddy flats. They then check for more things. Even the children are discovering new things like a fiddler crab. The twins discover fruits, but Jessica explains that they are mangrove seeds and inedible. Tion claims that they actually have thumb-sized fruits called lankian, which go with clams as a soup. The writer approves that it is tasty. Everyone then gets excited and goes off to search for the fruits. It didn't take long for them to find the targeted fruits. This will be a change of taste for everyone. After picking lankian fruits, everyone then collects clams and crabs on the seashore. During dinner, everyone exclaimed how delicious the soup was. Even the girls enjoy the soup made with seafood other than fish. After dinner, Jessica suggests taking all the warriors with Tion during the rainforest reconnaissance. Tion declines and tells her to have the others protect the elderly and children on the boat. Tion spent some time alone preparing the materials to bring for the mission. Ellen did an idol and made more tight-fitting clothes with other tribeswomen. Jessica is also working on making an insect repellent, especially for the malaria-carrying mosquito. The next day, everyone wished the recon team well. Tion claims it will be difficult to move inside despite having the map. He tells everyone to follow him from behind. Half an hour later, they reach a dead end in the river. Tion tells the rest to disembark and use the routes as steps. It is already noon and they don't have a choice but to move forward. They leave the boats and travel on the mangrove routes. Nick is surprised to see a fish on the mangrove tree. It is a cute mudskipper that has lungs that can breathe air. Aruba wonders if it is delicious. However, the black wolf scares it off. It just means that it is not delicious. Tion tells them to hurry and find land before night comes. Previously, as Tion tells them to hurry up and find land before the night comes, Sand Eagle continues to scout from the skies as Tion and the others are scurrying through the mangrove area. They finally touch the ground after hours of stepping on roots. Tion orders them to set up a camp. Just then, White-Eye starts picking up a smell and growling angrily. Kata can also detect the strong scent of urine. It just means that they are in the territory of a strong beast. Suddenly, a beast appears. A jaguar comes out of the woods. A lot of people had only seen lions before and Tion explains to them that the beast in front of them is a jaguar. It takes a piss on a nearby tree to mark its territory and growls at them. Tion asks White-Eye to tell the jaguar that they have already claimed the area. However, the jaguar furiously charges at them. The night comes and the group successfully sets up camp. The poor jaguar is their main dish for tonight. Everyone had different opinions on the taste, but Kata claims it is enough to fill their bellies. The morning comes and everyone can hear the lively sounds of the animals in the rainforest. Fortunately, nothing happened overnight while they were sleeping. They continue their travel as they slash through the vines in the unfamiliar rainforest. As Tion worries about the weather and their sweating, he discovers something on Kata's boots. It is a highly poisonous Amazon giant centipede. He orders everyone not to move. He tells Kata not to be scared and lets the giant centipede pass by him. Tion then kills the centipede. Everyone is glad that Tion notices it, and Tion warns them that there are poisonous things around the rainforest. After a few more trips, they finally got out of the rainforest. Tion suggests taking a rest because the deeper they go, the more they need to be careful. Mosquitoes bite them here and there as they continue in the dry woodlands. Aruba is a favorite of the mosquitoes, by the way. Tion gives him repellent as the others are done slathering their bodies with it. Seeing the mosquitoes go away, Tion is glad that he asked Jessica to make repellents. They continue their journey until Kata hears something. He tells them that he hears the sound of flowing water, and everyone claims that a river is nearby. Tion can't believe he is the only one not hearing it. Tion leads the way, and everyone arrives at the riverbank. However, Tion is not sure if the water is drinkable. He plans to have White Eye test it first, but Abba already went ahead and drank some, claiming that it was sweet. Everyone then chases after reckless Aruba. Knowing that rivers are good landmarks, Tion checks the map from the ring. The map displays lots of rivers and Tion needs more references to determine their current location. Seeing that it is getting dark, he plans to camp out in the area first. They set up camp again as usual and got into action to procure food. Everyone can see that the fish in the river are small and won't be enough to fill their bellies. They will also be hard to catch. Kata suggests catching something like the jaguar again. Tion on the other hand discovers something. He discovers some sorrel leaves that can be used to create traditional Chinese medicine, repel insects, and paralyze small fish. Tion had an idea of what to do. Everyone then sets things up on the river and Pakuma wonders if the leaves are going to be effective in catching fish. Tion then put a lot of sorrel leaves in the water and the fish started floating on the surface of the water. The rocks they put in advance prevent the fish from being swept away by the current. Dinner for tonight is a grilled dish, and a lot of people can't get enough of the taste of the fish. They were actually tilapia, which wouldn't survive on the previous island. Still, Tion can't believe how rich the resources are. Just then he notices something and a person can be seen floating on the river. First Tion tells the scaredy cat Aruba not to freak out. Nick wonders what is wrong. Tion points to the direction of the river and asks them if the shadow they can see is a person. Confirming that it is a person, Tion runs first to save them. After some time everyone observes the wounded person looking like a tribesman from an earlier civilization. Seeing the man's attire, Tion can only think that this person came from a more advanced civilization than the Lada people. Kata notices how the injuries were inflicted by stone tools. Kata wonders what to do with the corpse, and Tion tells him to dispose of it. Kata immediately throws it back into the water and prays for the person's soul. A typical Aboriginal water burial. After the dinner everyone had a meeting and concluded that there are other tribes on Biosphere 3. Out of precaution they started to have a night watch and take turns every 2 hours. The next morning they all set out after eating small fish again for breakfast. After following the river, they reach an elevated area. Aruba notices how muddy the water is. Tion recalls the vlog episode he watched about muddy water in a downstream area after a rain. And the survival host suggests going to higher ground to escape the torrent. Tion orders everyone to get up the cliff. With a rope tied to a tree they all start climbing the cliff. Aruba wonders why Tion is in a hurry. Tion did speculate something based on what he watched before. Just then an earthquake occurs, and they all see water furiously flooding downstream. They then climbed in a hurry and barely escaped the torrent. They just realized how wide the river is. Fukuma notices something on the water and it is an Amazonian anaconda. Aruba wonders if it is a small Titan python. Tion explains that they are different. Pythons have obvious scales while anacondas are slippery like loaches. Tion tells them to be careful, but a lot of people are seeing the anaconda as dinner. The cute anaconda sees a tree branch and slithers on it. What welcomes it at the end of the branch are the foodies from the Lada tribe, who see it as a dinner. Another poor wild animal has fallen into the hands of the Lada people. They all discuss how to cook the anaconda, and Tion can't help but feel bad. Tion notices how the animals they have met so far are normal.
Different from the mutated and ancient ones back in by Dao too. Anyway, he can't believe the others are really bringing the whole anaconda, weighing 225 kilograms. Because of the flood, the team didn't have a choice but to continue traveling in the rainforest. As the skies darken, they start clearing out an area to set up camp. Dinner for tonight is anaconda meat sprinkled with salt. Even sand eagles and white-eyed vultures enjoy the food. Just then White-eyed notices something and growls toward the bushes. The sand eagle immediately reports that something is coming. Tion tells the others in a hurry to put out the fire. After the fire is put out, they all hide in the bushes. What Sand Eagle described were more likely aboriginals. It would be worse if they were cannibals. Torches can be seen from afar and 3 men who look like a patrolling squad appear. Tion tells the others to wait. 2 hours later they lit up the campfire again as they heated up the cold meat they left. Seeing the decorations on the men before, Tion thinks that they are cannibals. Nick wonders if those men originated from their tribe because she understood their words. However, the others don't recognize them, and Aruba suggests asking Frason later. Tion asks for another confirmation if the men who passed by were speaking in Arabic, and Pakuma confirms it. Pakuma wonders if there is something wrong, and Tion tells them that there is. Tion clearly heard the men talking in Mandarin. Everyone then tries to figure out what is happening until Aruba's brain gets fried. Meanwhile, a person picks up a huge ant and lets it bite her thigh wound. She uses the ants to close her open wound. The woman pants as she looks over a village from afar. The next morning comes and Tion team finds a settlement. Kata wonders if the men from last night are from the village. However, Pakuma sees dead people using their telescope. Ragna now knows why the village is quiet, and Pakuma suggests leaving. Tion agrees and tells them to go around the area. Just then they hear a baby's cry echoing through the area. The others ask Tion to look for it. Despite being worried, Tion tells them to move in vigilantly. They can see traces of a fierce battle. They approach the house where the baby's voice can be heard. They get inside the house and discover that the baby has soiled itself and needs a change of diaper. Night comes, and the wounded woman from before approaches the village. She stops as she hears the lot of people being noisy over changing the baby's diapers. The woman finds their clothes unusual. The baby calms down beside White Eye. The others notice how the village got looted, but Tion decides to stay for the night. They are glad that they found the baby early on. However, Tion worries about how to feed it when it gets hungry. Tion's nightmare comes, and the baby cries out loud due to hunger. Aruba tries to feed it with a piece of meat, but Kata smacks him for being an idiot. Tion lets it drink water for now, but it still cries out. Everyone continues to worry as someone sneaks around the area. The baby continuously cries as the woman outside tries to start a fire. Kata suggests knocking out the baby to make it fall silent, but then he notices the other houses burning. Tion gets alerted, and they discover how the fire quickly spreads to the adjacent houses. They use their axes to bring down the nearby houses. Tion finds it weird that the house suddenly caught fire. He knows that this is deliberately done, basically arson. The woman sneakily runs to get the baby, but Tion discovers her. While holding the baby, the woman tries to slash Tion, but Tion manages to dodge her attack. Tion just realized that the one who sneaked in is a woman. Tion knocks her out after realizing that she is from the village. Tion gets flustered as the baby starts fondling a melon. The fire soon dies out and everyone concludes that it was the woman who started the fire. Ragna wonders if she is the baby's mother, and Tion agrees that she might be. The woman wakes up as Nick greets her. She starts going hysterical and calls them demons. Tion asks her to calm down. The woman realizes that there are a lot of them, and if their goal was to hurt her they should have done it earlier. The woman introduces her as Sorum, and the baby is hers. Tion then confirms if they can understand each other and comes to the conclusion that everyone in D3 can understand each other regardless of language. Tion then asks Sorum to sit down and have a conversation. However, Sorum falls over because she is too tired and hungry. The morning comes and Sorum finally takes a bite of food. Nick tells her to eat slowly. She thanks Tion and the others. Tion asks her what happened to the village. She then starts talking about what happened 3 days ago. The village was suddenly attacked by other tribes. The villages rose to put up a fight, but they were outnumbered and taken as prisoners to become slaves. Sorum was given the opportunity to escape during the battle. Sorum couldn't hold back her tears as she recalled what happened. Nick confirms that Sorum fell asleep after crying too much. Tion wonders if the Lada tribe can accept people from other tribes but the others don't know about it. Kata confirms that this hasn't happened to them yet. Tion suggests taking Sorum back to their ship, Breaking Dawn. However, they need Sorum's opinion about it too. For now, Tion tells the others to sleep well for the night. Tion initially planned to talk to Sorum in the morning, but she is still sleeping due to fatigue. He then decides to leave Ragna and Nick behind while he and the others look for food to eat. The group aimlessly roams around the wilderness looking for food. A curious Aruba discovers a spider and calls out for Pakuma's attention. Pakuma gets mad at Aruba and kills the spider. Tion notices that there are Jaro spiders around and clearly remembers a collector buying these for a fortune. The group soon arrives at a coconut field and everyone gets excited. They check for coconut fruits, and Pakuma notices how they are different from the ones they usually know. Tion explains that this type of coconut tree doesn't bear fruits, but the starch inside the trunks is edible. The others misunderstood him and started biting on the coconut trunks. The group cuts down one tree and Tion shows them the edible starch. However, they need to filter out things first using water. The others are worried that they don't have water anymore and haven't seen any sources nearby. Tion claims that there is a nearby source of water since Sorum's tribemates have cut down some of the trees before. They see two trails with one showing signs of the trunks being dragged away. They soon reach the river and Aruba wonders if they can catch some fish. They then start extracting the starch from the trunk. They started chiseling the starch and also created some containers using the outer barks. They did some rubbing and then used a cloth to filter the starch liquid. They left it for some time until the starch gradually sank into the bottom of the container. Tion explains that starch flour is basically the same as wheat flour. He then tells the others to start moving back to the village. Meanwhile, Sorum wakes up and thanks Nick. However, Nick tells her to thank the Mighty One instead. She claims Tion is the messenger of the Almighty. Tion's group returns and Sorum starts prostrating herself in front of Tion while calling him a priest. As they cook the starch, Sorum explains that the priests in their eyes are those who communicate with God and lead others. Tion then asks Sorum what she wants to do next. Sorum wants to go to the city-state, much to Tion's surprise. She claims she only heard from the elders that the city-state is a large tribe with huge stone houses. Corn and cocoa are abundant, and there are kings and nobles living there. During festivals or disasters, the king asks the priests to conduct a ceremony with offerings to seek blessings and protection for the people. Tion falls silent upon hearing new information. The silence broke when the starch popped off. Sorum didn't know they could cook the starch that way. Meanwhile, Tion ponders the fact that the pattern of the continent is indeed bigger than expected. Tion asks how Sorum's tribe usually cooks the starch. Sorum explains that they usually make porridge out of sago starch. Tion wonders if it was the priests who imparted their knowledge and Sorum confirms it. Tion knows that the word sago is modern. He then asks if Sorum really wants to go to the city-state. She overheard during the raid that the invaders plan to sell her tribemates in the city-state. She plans to buy them back. Everyone goes to sleep as Tion is still digesting the information she got from Sorum. He assumes that the city-state is in the center of the surrounding tribes. The tribes can plunder other tribes and offer the captured as slaves or human sacrifices to the city-state. However, Sorum doesn't know where the city-state is located, and Tion plans to follow the directions that the rings point to for now. He then worries about helping Sorum because it would be reckless to travel through the rainforest with a baby. He wonders if the priest is a modern person and can be asked to join them. The next day Tion and Aruba start digging under a house where money is kept. They dig until they uncover a skull. Aruba panics and Sorum explains that they bury the patriarch under their houses to have them protect them. They finally find a jar that contains coins. Tion worries that it might be someone's ashes because the jar looks like a ceremonial urn. However, the jar contains colorful shells instead. Sorum claims that with those shells she can buy the clan back. Tion wonders when she will leave. Sorum gets excited to hear that Tion is willing to help her. She then asks Tion to conduct a Hertzmark ceremony for her child. It is a ceremony conducted by the patriarch or an invited priest to baptize a name for the child. Tion asks when the ceremony is, and Sorum is glad to hear that Tion agrees to it. She claims it can be done after a month. Tion worries but Sorum suddenly mentions that it will be in 20 days. Tion is surprised to find out that there are only 20 days in a month in the calendar the tribesmen are using. Tion and the rest start going off to their respective tasks. Aruba then suggests fishing, but Tion remembers that D3 is basically a miniature version of the Amazon forest, with dangerous creatures like crocodiles and piranhas. They must be careful when working beside the river. Aruba has a lot of worms to be used as bait.
He discovers Tion, who has made another unique fishing device that will automatically hook the fish once it bites the bait. After setting it up, they catch fish easily while processing starch at the same time.
Just when Aruba finds the process convenient, a line suddenly moves viciously and he asks for the others' help. Tion notices that it must be a big one for Aruba to struggle. Despite having Tion's help, the two get pulled into the river by a strong force. Kata throws a spear but it just bounces off the scales. The water splashes and an adult arapaima leaps out of the water. It is considered the biggest fish on the South American continent. Tion knows it will be hard to pull it over once it goes back to the water. He asks Pakuma to aim for its head. Pakuma enters a state of concentration and hits the jaw of the arapaima with his arrow. The huge fish finally calms down in the water. After pulling it out of the water, they conclude that they have enough food for 3 days. Tion pulls out the scales and explains to everyone that they are usable as armor. Seeing that Kata's spear bounced off them, Pakuma now realizes why Tion asks him to aim for the head.
However, Tion claims he was not sure in the first place if the head was the weakness.
Pakuma can't believe that he was just asked to do a chance shot. That night, they feasted on the arapaima's meat.
At the same time, Sorum is busy with something and Nick asks what she is doing. She is using the arapaima's scales to make armor. They didn't worry about having meat for the next 3 days, but they still need to process the remaining starch for their next trip.
Meanwhile, Sorum and Nick are preparing things for the ceremony.
Soon after, Priest Tion leads the ceremony but finds the process troublesome. He just mumbles random numbers and alphabets as chants.
A few minutes later, Sorum presents her child to Tion.
Sorum guides her on what to do, and Tion lifts up the child and realizes something. He unconsciously shouts the name Simba. Tion, tries to calm himself after the absurd memory he just recalled. The others behind him also shouted the name Simba, thinking that it was a chant. Sorum then asks Tion to introduce 9 items to the child to determine his purpose in life. Tion then starts to present various things to the child. He puts down the child and watches him crawl toward the items. Surprisingly, the child picks up everything. Tion wonders what blessing to say because he only prepared a speech for each item. He suddenly gets an idea and claims that the earth contains everything. Hence, the child's name is Earth. Sorum is glad that her child now has a name. Everyone is impressed by what they just witnessed even though it felt like the Lion King for a moment. Night comes, and Tion checks on Sorum's injuries. They then show Sorum the map of the continent they are on. Tion then asks, "Where is the village located?" She points to something near a river. However, Tion knows that the map is kind of hard to use without the positioning function. They then continue planning the path they are going to embark on. The group sets out the next morning and follows the path Sorum's tribemates left. Tion offers a set of clothes for Sorum but she finds her current attire comfortable. The group later encounters a dead end and decides to camp for the night instead. The next day comes and Tion can't believe he collected a lot of water from dews overnight. Everyone also does the same while Earth is chilling with white eye. The group continues to travel and Aruba is complaining about the weather. Sorum suddenly stops and feels the wind. She claims that it is about to rain. However, the others can see how sunny the sky is. Sorum exclaims that it will be heavy rain. Tion can trust Sorum because she is a resident of this continent. He then orders the others to set up camp. After some time, the skies start rumbling and rain comes pouring down. Ragna is thankful that Sorum gave them a warning. Nick wonders how Sorum did it and Sorum claims that she just needs to listen to the rainforest. Tion is really glad he listened to Sorum. Seeing how the rain pours, the group realizes that it will go on for the whole day. It's a good thing that Jessica's tent has a bottom to keep the water away. The rain continues through the night and all they can do is camp out for the rest of the day. The skies cleared up the next morning, but the rain came back just like Sorum predicted. As the skies clear up again, the group continues to travel. However, their boots are too soaked from the rain. Ragna suggests taking them off, but Tion denies his suggestion. Sorum gives out a signal again and Tion tells them to set up the tent. It starts raining again but weaker compared to the beginning. This time, they use an animal skin tent so they can put up a fire. Just then, Aruba notices that Kata has 6 toes on his feet. Kata looks down and checks on his foot. Ragna and Pakuma claim that they have the same thing. Tion scolds them for not telling him about it early on. Tion then starts asking them for symptoms. Tion worries that they might be fatal. He then opens up the system store and uses 2,000 points to buy a book about first aid in the wild.
Tion can feel the information entering his mind again after a long time.
He finds the information that he needs in his head and diagnoses the condition of the others as warts. The others are worried that they might die because of warts.
Kata then starts leaving his will to Nick. Pakuma asks Aruba to take care of his twin sister Pohama. Ragna cries with a confused white eye. Tion then tells them that a small problem won't kill them. The treatment is quite simple. Pour some hot water on the wart and cut it off with a knife. It won't even hurt when cut off. Kata wonders if it is done, but Tion claims it might grow back again and they just need to cut it off. He presented another method using needles, but the others looked scared. Sarum claims the rain is going to take a day, so everyone decides to rest for now. Tion knows the cause of warts. Long-term travel, friction and the wet environment that let the bacteria breed on the wounds.
Tion tries to look for more books that can help their current situation, but I see something familiar in the store.
Sheesh, other manhwas are uploaded on the system. Tion is tempted to buy them.
He quickly snaps out of it and continues to browse for something useful. He then finds an upgraded book about field crafts. Despite being expensive, Tion buys the book and gains new knowledge.
He then stands up and exclaims that there is a way. He then mixes lard with sodium hydroxide to make glycerin.
He then mixes it with starch, baking soda, vinegar and water to make degradable plastic.
Sarum is fascinated by the glass tube and Nick starts acting proud.
Tion continues mixing and the others are starting to wonder what he is doing. He claims he is making plastic that is waterproof.
Half an hour later they acquire waterproof boots. Aruba then offers to do the test.
He then starts stepping on a puddle like a kid and Kata punishes him for splattering water on him. Tion is glad that they can protect the others from warts now and prevent them from redeveloping them. The rain boots were quite useful during their travels. It can even help them when they accidentally step on shallow puddles. The rain was really terrifying because it accumulated too much water in the forest. They even discover a shark in the river, which soon becomes a meal. Because of the climate, Tion's group is traveling unnecessary distances. During their travels they encounter avocado trees that bear fruits that are highly nutritious. Our foodie friend Aruba starts climbing to pick the fruits. However, he notices something from afar. He shouts back to the others below that he can see fire ahead. However, Sarum claims it is not a flame. It is actually a colony of flying fire ants. They use their jaws to clamp human skin, which can cause blisters, burns and even anaphylactic shock with the risk of death. Tion tells everyone to run away. While running, Aruba points out that it was just ants, but Tion exclaims that this kind can kill people. Tion realizes that they can't just run away from the colony. He brings out his lighter and asks the others to bring out the alcohol. They put alcohol in their mouths while holding torches. The fire ant colony comes and they spat out alcohol towards the fire torch. Unlocking fire breathing, killing the fire ants in the process. However, there are still a lot of them. Tion tells the others to cover their heads and get out. The fire ants start biting them. Just then the sand eagle comes. Sand eagle uses gust. It is super effective. Tion commends Sand Eagle. The fire ants target Sand Eagle this time. Tion tells it to get away and throws the bottle of alcohol away. Pakuma shoots an arrow breaking the bottle and causing an explosion. Tion tells them to run. Tion and the others run away from the fire ants. Tion knows that fire ants don't have natural enemies. However, the system shows him Mahatma, a parasitic fly, and yellow dragonflies which both prey on fire ants. The ring points out a direction and they all run to it. They are getting near the yellow dragonflies' breeding grounds near the river. Tion and Pakuma distract the fire ants again with small explosions. They finally arrive at the river and Tion tells them to hurry. Everyone dives into the water and Tion gives the fire ants the middle finger. The yellow dragonflies start to mobilize. They all preyed on the fire ants until nothing was left. Look at them burp. Everyone gets out of the water and checks on each other's condition. Tion is glad that no one had allergic reactions. Sarum and Nick appear and they regroup. They set up their tents nearby and Tion starts giving the others first aid, making the itch go away. This is the most embarrassing day for Tion and the others since they entered the rainforest area. They take their time to recuperate their fatigue and stress. Their rain boots were also damaged in the encounter with the fire ants. However, they are lucky to camp nearby milk trees. Tion explains that it is a tree that produces milk. Well, its sap has the same composition as milk. Tion collects some sap and cooks it to remove the unpleasant smell. The smell became more pleasant and everyone got to taste milk for the first time. Tion feels amazed by nature after encountering sago palm trees and milk trees. Later that night, Tion comes out of the tent to check on Sorum, who is praying outside. He wonders if she is worried about the safety of her clan. She claims that there is a month left before the sacrificial ceremony. Tion recalls that Sorum did mention it before and her clanmates might be the ones offering this time around. Tion reminds her that it will be just a few days before they reach the city-state. However, Tion's group doesn't know the exact location of the city-state. Hence, they can't estimate the distance that they are supposed to travel. Along the way, with the help of Sand Eagle, Tion discovers other villages that range from small ones to larger ones. Tion thinks the city-state is just nearby because of the villages gathering in its proximity. Still, Tion and his group decided to avoid the villages to avoid unnecessary troubles. A few days later, Tion's group discovers some traveling tribesmen. They think the path they are taking is toward the city-state. Just then, they hear something in the nearby woods. A man is running with his little sister on his shoulders while following a strong scent. He then stops as soon as he discovers Tion's group. Tion can see that the siblings pose no threat to them. The little sister then exclaims that she wants to eat what Tion's group is cooking. The young man puts her down and tells her to wait. The young man brings out a deer's leg and asks Tion for an exchange. Tion smiles and looks at the others. The young man wonders if he needs to find another leg, but Tion tells him that it is enough. Tion plans to ask for information from the young man. The young man introduces himself as Tiger Claw, while the little sister is named Aya. They both thank Tion for the food. Aya exclaims how delicious the cooked starch is and wonders if it is a gift from God. Tiger Claw wonders if Tion's group will also participate in the sacrificial ceremony, but Tion replies that they are not sure if they are going the correct way. Just like he expected, Tion gained information from Tiger Claw. Tiger Claw explains that the people walking on the same path are going to participate in the sacrificial ceremony. In terms of their current location, it would still take them 2 more days to reach the city-state. Tiger Claw tells them to take their time because there is still time before the ceremony of the priesthood starts. Tiger Claw then reminds Tion about the entrance fee. Tion wonders how the fee is calculated. Tiger Claw mentions that shells are the main currency used to buy products like cocoa beans, tobacco, and corn. Tion wonders how much it is per person, and Tiger Claw tells him that it is 20 shells per person. Tiger Claw suggests trading their items for currency and offers to trade some for Tion's food. First things first, Tion wants to know if plundering happens in the city-state after knowing that looting between villages happens. Aya then cheerfully suggests killing the other party to gain more things. Tiger Claw tells the anxious Tion that others normally target other small groups. Tion wonders if the siblings are in danger. Aya exclaims that her brother is strong enough to take on 10 people by himself. Tion then changes the topic and asks for the exchange of shells for food. The siblings then receive food from Tion with extras. Tion now worries if Sorum can buy off her clanmates with her jar of shells. The two groups finished exchanging goods and shells and went their separate ways. Tion and his group moved to look for another place to camp. He worries that the siblings are other tribes' scouts. Meanwhile, the siblings talk about how nice Tion is. Tiger Claw hopes he won't participate in the holy ball sports after the gods bless them. Just then, Aya starts shivering. Tiger Claw stops walking and covers Aya with this thick cloak. They spent the night as the older brother warmed up his little sister. The next day, Tion's group takes a road different from the main road. Tion tells them to wait and see. He recalls Tiger Claw's warning that other tribesmen target people on the road. Suddenly Tion notices a glint in the woods. An arrow appears, and Tion immediately has his superpower that speeds up his mind and movements. He knew that this kind of situation would come and didn't expect the tribesmen to be smart enough for an ambush. Knowing that they are nearing the city-state, this kind of ambush is a normal occurrence. Tion can also see another party waiting for the result of the scuffle. However, it is a pity that they chose the wrong target. Tion, Kata, and Ragnar quickly fought back and overpowered the tribesmen. Their modernized swords are enough to scare the tribesmen. However, the tribesmen are proud of their numbers compared to Tion's group. Aruba now knows how the pirates felt when they were at an advantage with their weapons. Tion is now worried about the enemy's numbers. They have just come out. A spear suddenly appeared between the two forces. Tiger Claw comes running with Aya on his shoulder. The other tribesmen freaked out after seeing Tiger Claw and bounced out of the scene. However, the strong man that the others are scared of tripped on a random rock. Aya skillfully jumps off of her brother and greets Tion's group.
Tiger Claw asks for their well-being, but it seems like he needs to check on himself first.
Tion helps Tiger Claw get up and mentions how the coincidence is so great that it looks like the siblings knew their location. Tiger Claw immediately spouts random stories and reasons for helping Tion's group. The siblings even mention how God guided them to meet again.
They suggest traveling and eating good food together.
Tion accepted their suggestion, and the way to the city-state was now easier with the siblings. Tion's group can't believe seeing a sudden number of people. Pakuma wonders why the others are distancing themselves.